Hey, prog music lovers. Hope everybody's doing well. Brent back with you for another review. It's been a while, so welcome back. It's good to see everybody again. Tonight's review is going to be on This Winter Machine's Kites, which of course is this album right here. How does it stack up to their first and their second album? Let's find out. Kites is the long-awaited third album from Yorkshire's melodic progressive group This Winter Machine. Delayed by both the extended COVID lockdown period and significant lineup changes arising from the frustrations of not being able to build up upon the momentum gained from their first two albums, The Man Who Never Was from 2017 and A Tower of Clocks from 2019. It is very impressive that the group have pulled the rabbit out of the hat, so to speak, to produce a vibrant, emotional, fresh, and an album that has got the most highest of quality. Now, many musicians and bands have been deeply affected by the pandemic, and This Winter Machine could argue that they have been affected more than most. Now, the early promise and acclaim of the debut album had been successfully followed by their impressive sophomore release, A Tower of Clocks. But by the start of 2020, the title, Kites, and artwork had already been agreed upon and the initial recording session had taken place, with many of these tracks nearing completion. Then everything just ground to a halt, for all of us, resulting in a period of great frustration, changing plans, and most significantly, the departure of the band members for a host of reasons, both personal and artistic. Lead singer Al Winter recruited new musicians and pushed ahead with Kites, as the others formed a new band called Ghosts of the Machine. Now, the writing, rehearsing, and recording all progressed at an accelerated rate, whilst observing social distance guidelines, of course, and at last, here in autumn of 2021, this labor of love can finally be released to both our devoted fan base and the general prog rock community. It has certainly seemed like a very long wait for me. It looks like my patience is going to be fully rewarded. Alright, let's break down the tracks. The first track is a song called Jour Davon, which translated to English means the previous day. It is a short instrumental that starts the album. Jour Davon is a lovely piano introduction by the album's chief guest keyboardist, Pat Ganger-Sanders. It mingles with some subtle acoustic guitar from Don Benson and some unsettling keyboarding effects, creating a prelude of quiet unease before we encounter the ominous bark orders to stay inside of our home at the start of the two-part epic, The Storm. The Storm Part 1 starts off with pounding drums from Alan Wilson and a rumbling bass line from Dave Close, built to a powerful guitar-led riff. Al's vocals propel the song over eerie keyboard chords, and there is a Dream Theater feel for the first half before a change in pace and the tone is signaled by a soaring, expressive solo by guest guitarist Mark Abrahams of, yes, Wishbone Ash, swirling the keyboards, heralding a less tense, more complaintive feel. I'll have to be let it said that the Storm Part 1 is probably my least favorite song on the album. Just doesn't do much for me. I'm not really impressed with the production of the song. I feel Al's vocals are way too low in the mix, and it takes a lot away from the song. However, Part 2 kicks some serious ass. Part 2 begins in a lighter vein with acoustic guitar by Simon DeValley and features a Dom Benison solo that could quite possibly be the best on the album. Following The Storm Part 2, we have a little instrumental called Limited. It's an instrumentation that seems to act as a coda to these earlier tracks. Driven by Alan's simple drums and Dave's dominant bass, there is an ethereal dreaminess to the intertwining of the keyboards and guitars, and a sense of resolution of sorts. Now we come to my favorite song on the album, Pleasure and Purpose. Pleasure and Purpose begins with a background crowd noise, and then a slow rhythm behind simple guitar notes as Al's sad, thoughtful, and very measured vocals slowly lead the song to more depth and power. In many ways, this is a typical This Winter Machine slow burner and is very much the heart of the album. After Pleasure and Pain, we have a song called This Heart's Alive. Lyrically, it is about not understanding the dishonesty inherent in some relationships. It begins with chiming, repeated guitar patterns, and some lovely keyboards from Pat. The highlight of this song is Al Winter's vocal delivery, much like it was in Pleasure and Purpose. After this Hearts Alive, we have another short instrumental called Whirlpool. This raised the tempo considerably and packs a lot of powerful melodic rock into its 2-minute duration, and it features some of the most tasty Hammond organ throughout that I've heard in a long time. After Whirlpool, we have a nice tender song called Broken. Broken starts atmospherically before some lovely piano from former keyboardist Mark Newman serenely introduces Al's vocals, which are at this time really sensitive and powerful, and even a lot of pain as well, as he reflects on how a poor upbringing can affect adult relationships and how some people don't move on emotionally from such childhood. The song really has a feeling to In Amber from A Tower of Clocks. And now we come to probably the second best track on the album, simply called Sometime. Peter Jones of Tiger Moth Tails and Camel is a guest vocalist on this enjoyable and comforting and sometimes lighter, upbeat counterpoints into some of the darkness of the previous tracks. And of course, the last track on the album is the title track, Kites. The longest individual track at over 7 minutes ends preceding things with a freshness and lightness of touch that should go down well at live concerts in the years to come. Overall, it has a great feeling of positivity and reflectiveness, and a great way to end an album. Kites made an immediate impression, but more importantly, it grows and develops further with repeated listens. My only one gripe with this album is the production. I feel that the production on the first album was stellar, and it was so-so with the Tower of Clocks, and on this one it just seemed really unprofessionally mixed. I mean, that's just me, and it's not to take anything away from the songs or musicianship or anything like that from the band. I believe the group has going to have a prosperous future, and you need to go out, check these guys out, go to their pages, buy the albums, because they're not on a major label and they need fan support in a big way. Take it from me, you won't be disappointed. I'm going to give this album an 85, and it is on par with the previous 2 albums. Thanks for your time, guys. Good night. Hey, welcome back, guys. As usual, I'm going to show you the physical copy of the album. This is the CD. There are plans, I believe, to release this on vinyl eventually. So if you enjoy it, pick it up. Picture of the back there. Picture of the CD. I'll grab the booklet here. There's all the guests, the thank yous, etc. And some lyrics. More lyrics. Very well done booklet. Suits the theme in the album quite well, I think. There you go. As usual, take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next review. Good night.